Hey, I'm Seth with Land to House. Thank you for tuning in. This is part 3 of the workshop camera gantry build. If you're unfamiliar with what a camera gantry is, it's a track system that allows a camera to rest on and move all over the shop without having to be moved around like on this tripod here. So, as a recap, in episode 1, I built the track system that will be going long ways here in the shop. In part 2, we designed these little carts that will ride on that track. And so now in part 3, we're going to be kind of putting things together. So first of all, I have this secondary track system that will be going short ways across the 2 different tracks that are here on the long ways. So I need to climb up the ladder here and get the first cart installed. I haven't tightened down this back one yet, so I can get that done. This will basically ride on that side of the track, and then this secondary set will have 2 more sets of track, and then there'll be one last cart here for this other side. This is a project I have dreamed about doing for a very long time, so I'm really excited that it's actually coming to fruition here. So I just removed the lower wheels, and I want to get them here on the track and hopefully get this pieced on here without having to take both of these off. We'll see if I can do it. Okay, that took longer than I expected, but I got the first cart up on that track, and then I installed this one down here while it was on the ground to make it much easier. And now the other 2 need to be installed on this track, like that and that. You know, I probably could go in like this, would be just as fine. Okay, I was just looking at this. If I put them on the inside, the wood piece here can hit a rubber stopper on the edge this way and not cause it to have that loud thump. So let's go ahead and put these cart pieces on the inside. Yeah, okay. Once again, I'm gonna have to take off both sets of wheels, I believe. Very cool. All right. So those are going to have a plate that goes between them like this, and it will drop down to where the camera will be held. Here's what we have so far. Got the wooden plate here with the 2 tracks that go to both matching carts, and then again down to this block. So this block here will attach to the center of this cart. And then I will have to match the distance of this track based on the length of this. So it's going to be kind of a tough little play here, but I think we'll be able to do it. Starting to get excited about this project. I sure hope it glides well. So far all of these tracks are doing pretty good. So I'm not exactly sure what the camera attachment part is going to look like, but I do want to get this plate here on top. So I think what I want to do is get 2 measurements here. Let's go ahead and get this one. Let's say I want to cut it at 6.5 inches. And then this way, let's get those locked down pretty even. Okay, this way needs to be 5 inches. Cool, all right. So let's get 5 inch this way, and then the 6.5 that way, and we will mount this here on top. And that's gonna give a surface for the camera crane to be down from. We got 6.5 this way, and we want 5 inches this way. This thing placed on here, I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill so I don't end up cracking any of this, hopefully. So that slides really, really fluidly. Hopefully not so fluid that if I get this off balance a little, it's going to be sliding on its own. So anyway, on the previous attempt at building this, I put these holes in the edge here. And so I can go ahead and use those again to get this installed up top. The biggest problem is I have to get this piece up there attached to one side, and I need to rope it off and then measure out on the other side over here so that the track is going to be equal. Because if it's off, then it'll try to spread out and it won't work. So let's climb the ladder and see what we can do. All right, I'm going to see about hooking this up here on one side. I think it's going to stay all right. And then I'm going to walk up the ladder and use this rope to kind of hold this up into place. See what we get here. And the idea with the rope is that it should allow this to slide back and forth a little bit. I'm going to try to use the same technique where I pre-drill into this plywood and then get this screwed in here. Oh man, so awkward. I tell you, nothing about building this camera gantry has been easy to film. So this side over here, I think I have locked down pretty good. And that's up there. I had to turn the track this way upside down because it was going to hit the lights. But now it has plenty of clearance this way. So now that it's on here, I've come over here and I just got one screw holding the whole thing up over here. And I'm going to go ahead and come back with these blocks on top of the ladder and kind of match up where it needs to be. And that way, as it slides down, it hopefully will be equal on both sides. Even if there's a slight variation, it'll be good because I'm going one step at a time. So anyway, I'm gonna go up here and get this next one in and then move on back to this one because it's not in the right spot, and just keep on going. Okay, I'm back out here in the shop to work on the camera gantry. So if we climb up here, I was able to get two different spots attached just to hold this up here. And there's still a little bit of racking going on. So if I were to pull just one side here, like this, you see it's got a little bit of a delay there before it moves. And I think what's happening is where I've got the hardware attached here, these pipes, they just move just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is add a board that will span across, I guess up the top here, and go over to the other side. And that will hopefully get this thing locked down better, and it will all move as one unit. So I've got some little strips of plywood here. Let's cut those to 84 inches and join them together and get this up here, and I think we'll be good to go. These two strips came off of the previous install, so I need to get two at 42 inches, I believe. There's some tear out here on the end where I pulled this off of the wood glue. So let's go ahead and get those cut down real quick. Okay, got those two pieces cut. Now I want to join them together. I'm just going to use one of these scrap pieces of the end that I cut off to bridge the middle there. Okay. I think this one board is going to straighten this up a lot here. We'll make sure it's in the right spot. It's always something. This beam is in the way here. I think we finally have success here on the track system. Let me show you what I mean. I've got this squeegee pole. So as long as the cart is in the middle here, and I can push equally on the sides. Look how smooth that is. So nice. Got some stoppers there on that end, and if I go over here and push this way, little binding there. So anyway, that way works decent, and this way right here is crazy smooth. So very happy with that. So I think as long as I can match the cart up here in the middle of the track, whenever I decide to move to the other end, I can just push it on and go for it. And then when I get to this end, or wherever I want to be, I can move this back over to get my other angle. So if I was filming, if the camera pole was right here, you know, I could move it to the center pretty easy, and then just go on. Let's say it was, I don't know, halfway through here, move to this end, and then film from over here. So if you're kind of following along with this camera gantry build, I highly recommend you add an extra washer or two on this top and bottom wheel so that it separates from the plywood, because that's what is binding if I try to move it from one end to the other. It's just kind of catching there on that piece. But anyway, this cart, extremely smooth. Very happy with its results. Well, that's going to end part 3 of this camera gantry build. The next part is to design and install the piece that comes down. I want to be able to adjust it up and down, and then have a crane section on it. And then I've also got a little ball valve that the camera can attach to, so I can move the camera in any direction, as well as going up and down on this track. So I want to be able to basically make it so that the camera can go anywhere in this shop, but be on this track system. It's going to help out so much with the projects that I do here in the shop. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.